Yo, yo, yo. Yo. Yo, 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 yo. I suck at sharing the stream link, dude. I am the absolute worst at it. Alright, sharing the stream link around now, guys. Oh, Eric did it for me on the trade floor. What a fucking legend. Yeah, what he said. Cool. Alright, guys, type it in the YouTube chat real quick. What are we going to be drawing here at the Open today? The gap fib, correct. Fibs from close to open. Love to see that. Overnight fib, gap fib, AM gap fib. You guys are all getting it. We're all just... you guys are just the fucking greatest. The most intelligent traders on the market. But yeah, so we're going to be drawing a fib from the close of this red candle here to the open of this day here, whenever that happens in about 52 seconds. So we'll be drawing that. So I guess we could say it's going to look something like this. We'll just draw it like right here. It's going to look similar to this. So we're going to have a 50% around here somewhere today. Meaning, if we have any weakness around this, which remember, all these other targeted levels are all just targets, right? We have a couple from the backwards fib. We have a couple from the most recent backwards fib. There's a lot of different targets above our head right now. My dog wanted to come say hi. But yeah, so that's probably what we're going to be looking at today. 1 second, though. Two seconds. 1 second, and done. Alright, now we can draw those fibs. So we're going to go from close of that red candle to open of this candle. And that's it. That's all you have to draw. That could literally be all you focus on today. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Also, I think it's insane how this right here has already been drawn. This level was already thrown up here. This was posted the other day. These were literally just like targets of other backwards fibs. So we've technically hit a second target of a backwards fib. And this is our today's open. So it's a very important area. I'm probably going to leave the chart like this for a second so we can all understand the magnitude of this. But I would love to also pull this post up again. One second. We've had 3 market reversals that were apparently going to send us to the floor the past 2 months. Guys, do not listen to the internet. If you're really using the internet for your source of helping you, you need help. You need help. This is my 30 Ford What? Maybe later. I don't need premium. 30 forward. Third. But yeah. And then one more. I got one more to pull up. SPY is breaking the today's open. I'd probably watch this on the 1 minute if you're trying to scalp this, just so you have like an instant understanding of, oh, okay, it's under today's open. I'm on the 5 minute right now, so I want to have a little bit of patience. One second. I'm still trying to find that other post. It's so far back now. It's like, damn. I actually have to scroll a lot more than I want. Oh, here we go. Why is it so small? What the hell? This was full screen on the other screen. Levels and swings. September 25th. 2 days, or actually the same date as that tweet. Right here, we were talking about the market because a lot of people were kind of freak. This is the first freak out we had from recent past when we had that big dip and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is where we go down to 5." I could see us going down to 560 from here. You know, you had every fucking genius on the internet saying we're gonna pull back, right? And that was just the first time, right? I guess I'll go back here and show this so we have a quicker understanding. Just so you understand how many times this has happened. It's insane. I'm talking about this move right here. Talking about this move right here. Right? I'm not even over here yet. We're at all-time highs now. But look how many times. And look, this is off the Trump news. Everybody said Trump's going to send us to the floor. Trump hates us. I mean, if that's the truth, then how come we went to all-time highs after? Right? We didn't go any lower after Trump Day. Trump Day happened. We didn't even make a new low. Since that day, we just kept going up. All right, so you can't let the internet's bias control your bias, which is very easy to let it do that. Even sometimes just by reading social media, you will get trapped in the whole, oh, fuck, everything is really worse than it really is, bullshit. But it's depressing because it's really not. In terms of stock market pricing, things are not that bad. If anything, we're almost bored waiting for more data to come out, but the government shut down. So we're only getting so much data to give ourselves these short-term news events, right? We're almost relying on a Trump day, It's like, the market's so bullish, we're making up stupid reasons to go down. That's how bullish the market is. If we're going down because of a Trump tweet, we must be in a pretty damn good market for us to be complaining about a damn tweet. We're not going down because of war. We're not going down because of, literally anything. Throw your arguments at me. You won't win. You can't win. We went to 683. You lost. All these bearish arguments of why we're going to go down. I think people tend to forget what the stock market is, right? Yes, it does have effects from these news events, but think about it. What is SPY? What is the stock market? I've gone over this so many times in here. It is a forward-looking indicator. It is a forward-looking gauge. Is it indicating price? Is it pricing in price action for October 27th, 2025? No, it's not. It's probably already trading for Q1 of 2026. We're probably already trading for 2026 right now. This is not for October 27th. So you guys need to remember that as well. That's why you can't use social media to be like, oh, wow, everyone's bearish. Let me also be bearish. Don't fall into that trap. I see that too many times. And if you've gone quiet over the last couple of months, you probably have fallen into that trap because you haven't been in here focused and you've been focused on a bunch of bullshit that doesn't help you. We haven't seen any breaks that actually say anything. Now, don't get me wrong. I do agree with every single bear when they say, oh, this could be the moment things start to happen. I've agreed every single time because they weren't wrong. If we would have had any follow through after that hammer, after this hammer, after Trump Day, there is a very good chance that we were working down towards 630s. I'm not arguing that. But you have to use this as a trigger. This is like you need something to happen, and then you need a lower high of that thing that happened for you to sit here and be like, yeah, I have a passive short on the market. Anything else is you just guessing or trying to get lucky. Let's try to remember that the stock market does just go up. I mean, I'm sorry to say the weird truth, but I mean, it does just go up. So shouldn't you be finding more reasons on why it can go up than go down? If you find yourself in that conundrum, let me know. Because if that's the truth, then I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're a perma bear and you need to quit trading because you're not going to succeed. If you're someone who just can't not trade or can't not short, you have a problem. This market requires preemptive planning and then execution of that preemptive planning. That sounds so easy to put into words, but it's not. It's not easy to do at all. To plan something beforehand and then actually take action on that and have the patience to not do anything else besides that, that takes true talent. Hello, Lily. She already ran back out. Thank you for saying hi to her, though. I'll let her know. Good morning, good morning. And yeah, if you guys are coming in here to plan on chilling on for a while today, I don't think I will actually be on here for a very long time today. So just be on the watch for that. I'll probably run to my usual time, but don't look for me to do a full day Monday again. Those really take it out of you. I need to save that for like the end of the week. Like do that on like a Wednesday or a Thursday or something. It's always 2001 or 2000s for the Bears, for perma bears. Yeah, you're not wrong. And I'm not even talking shit to anybody in here specifically. I don't remember anybody in my chat being like, let's turn bearish. Like, if anything, I saw a lot of you guys get crazy and be like, yeah, let's get calls on this, or let's go along with this, or I think tech is going to bounce, or I think healthcare is going to bounce. Like, I really like seeing that from you guys. I point out my call out on in the market going back up over and over, and the bears fueling the bulls, because that's literally what's going to cause this. The only way we can go up is because of how many bears we have. Like, every time we've had one red candle, everybody flips bearish. I think this is the time. You know, every time they think that. It's crazy. One time it was because of China trade deal. One time it was because of Trump. One time it was because of this. One time it was because of that. Like, they'll have you thinking everything, man. It's crazy. Focus on what you have in front of you. Focus on your strategy. Focus on the context that you find that helps you the most, right? So like me personally, like context today, we're drawing the gap fib. Why do I draw that? Because I find that to be the most important thing to draw on a gap up day, right? There's going to be a lot of people today who don't even have a target up here at 682. So they're going to be like, well, this is just trading in the middle of nowhere. No, it's not. It's actually indecisively trading around a very important target and its own open today. So it's actually doing what it's supposed to. Are we supposed to be getting a launch right now, guys? Are we supposed to be getting a dump right now? No. I mean, those are two possible scenarios, but no. We opened at such a crucial area in what might look like the middle of nowhere that we probably do need to trade here for a second and just kind of get our footing. Makes sense to me. If I just almost slipped and then I caught myself before I slipped, I'd probably need to stand there for a quick second. Be like, all right, I'm good. Let's walk. We're good. There's no magnets on my feet. Cheap-tastic. You're not going to have to worry about that much longer. It's going away very soon. But basically, you can't trade. You can't trade your funds in the same day, which you shouldn't be doing that anyway. If you're doing like swing trades, especially, you should have that. You shouldn't even have that problem. But yeah, you can't take day trades, pretty much, and you can't take. I think it's more than 3. I haven't had the PDT rule in forever, so but I think that's the gist of it. But you don't have to worry about it. It's literally going away soon. That stupid scam of an idea. PDT rules a scam. They want you to think it's to protect you, but it's to stop you. Let's be honest. Is that because of Trump? No, I don't think it. I don't think it has to do with any particular president. I don't think they even have suction on that. I don't know who made that decision, though, to answer your question. I would assume the clearinghouses have to answer to somebody. Probably the Fed, which means probably the Fed came up with it. But that's been in the rumors for a while, and then it came out not long ago. Yep. When they get rid of PDT equity trading, equity date, well, you still got to worry about market wash. So you can't do it for the sake of, oh, I want to own this cheaper, but yeah, technically you can. But yeah, no, I agree though. I think it'll make your average trader a little bit smarter because they'll be like, oh wait, I don't have to just trade options. And also, it's funny because we say that so many times in here. I know I've said that a few times, but so many times in here have we said options trading shouldn't be your full focus. If it is, you're doing something wrong. Options is like when you go to the bar, right, and you order. No, actually, the bar is a horrible example. You go to the steakhouse, right, and the steakhouse is great. You're loving it. But you really need to side with that steak. What do you need? You need a baked potato is what you need. Is the right answer, by the way. Whatever you said was wrong. You need a baked potato, right? So the baked potato is essentially our other side. We need the baked potato. But too many times do I see people talk about like, oh, we need to go down from this, or oh, we need to go up. It's like, what the fuck is telling you that we need to do anything? Like, what is telling you that? What has told you that we need to go down? I never understand that. But people eat it up. People eat it up because that fear is around. So they feel that fear. People aren't stupid. They have a little bit of emotional intelligence to be like, oh, okay, people are scared of something. Red candles soon, probably. And then everyone's on the same boat. And then next thing you know, we gapped up to new all-time highs within a week. But it did take a 1 or 2 day change of sentiment to bring that liquidity into the market. People had to be wrong for it to go up. But people had to be wrong big for it to go up that much, right? So a lot of people probably were starting to think, oh, shit, Trump's really just going to bring us back down. And who's to say that it doesn't come back down from this? What if this is the all-time high? We never see another high past this for a year, you know? Who knows? Which I don't want that to happen, but I'm just saying, like, that's how much you and me truly know about the future of the market. We could sit here and say we expect it to go up or down, right? But let's not sit here and dedicate ourselves to our words. You know, oh, I think it's going to go up. That means for the next 2 years, I should only buy longs. What? What are you, a caveman? You can't think for yourself? You can't see that there's a lower high on your chart? You should stop buying longs? You should just chill for a second? Like, you don't need to trade every day. Options don't need to be your main meal, right? Your main meal is equity, buying shares of things, owning companies, not options trading. Options trading is literally just a baked potato. Don't you want the steak? I know I do. That's how you get it. Your shares. You own shares of things. You own companies. Options are a tool, not a main focus. If no one has told you that before, this is the first community you've ever stepped into that actually gives somewhat of a shit about you. Because if people aren't telling you that, that's a problem. Hey, how many options trades did you get today? Did you get at least 3 today? That's fucking insanity. That's also a problem in this market. There's a lot of over trading, and then people bitch about volatility, like over trading won't, add into that a little bit. Like, brother, we have volatility because everybody's over trading. You know how many hedge funds have been reported to catch this big move up over the past couple months? Almost none of them. Not a lot of hedge funds have caught all the big moves up in terms of options trading. There's got to be a truth behind that. The fear is real. Every time we've dipped back down, even the smart people think we're going down. So what does that tell you? That means nobody actually knows what's happening next. Nobody actually knows shit. Just like in the past, just like now. So if you go to social media for your bias, you're wrong. You go to the news for your bias, you're wrong. You go to an analyst, you're wrong. You can have a plan, you can have expectations, sure. But I don't know. I don't understand this. There is a fine line between educated guessing, educated work. You know, you calculating things out. Oh, if this happens, I'm gonna do that. If this happens, I'm gonna do this. You know, that kind of thing. Being conditional. A fine line between that and complete delusion, complete hysteria, where you are just like, oh no, this is bullshit. It's only gonna go up for 3 years straight. Like, huh? I'm bearish. This is only going to go down for 3 years straight, or for a week straight, or blah. Like, calling things out like that is just insanity in itself. I'm sorry. When I see people like call that stuff out, I'm just like, whatever. Good call out, dude. Because it's a 50-50 in every single situation in their head. I'm either right or I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I just don't discuss it. And if I'm right, I repost the shit out of it and I make it look like I'm really, really cool and smart. That's the kind of people you're dealing with when you go online and read social media, when you go onto the news, when you go into all that stuff. That's what you're getting yourself into. Reading a bunch of shit where people really, really want to appear to be right a lot. That's why I post my win rates on my swing stuff, because I want you to see you actually can lose a lot and still be very profitable. So it goes to show when you do get on your hot streaks, you know, you really do need to maintain yourself really well, because you might be in a position where you might make your whole month right in that week. You might make your whole year right in that month. Depends on, you know, what you're trading. But yeah, so my rant's over, but I wanted to go over a lot of that with you guys here in the very beginning, because I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, nobody's telling you this shit. But like, it seriously is. Like, nobody's telling you guys this shit. And it's incredible, because I think it really gets to some people's heads really easily. Like, oh my God, I'm not as good as I think I am. Or, oh, I wish I was doing better. It's like, dude, no one's doing that great right now. Even your hedge funds are failing at options trading. And you also need to understand, like, it's not the main thing. This isn't the bigger picture. Options trading is a corner of the market, not the whole thing. Not even close. Which I am excited, though, for when options market, another thing that's going to be coming out soon, not just that PDT rule getting deleted from history, but also options trading overnight. You'll be able to do trading overnight. You won't have to close it in the morning. You can close it overnight. So another way of not trapping your, you know, trades. But that also takes away some liquidity in the market. I don't know if I like that rule or not, but it is a very cool concept. All right. Rant over. I said it again. If it's 50-50, should I really be 100% invested? No, 100% not. You should never be 100% invested. I never once said that either. That's not what I was arguing. You missed the point if that's what you thought. I was talking about how people who only decide to options trade are their own problem. That was just part of what I was talking about. But I wanted to also discuss that because we did dip into it a little bit. But no, you should never be 100% invested. I don't know a single person that is. Actually, that's not true. We did see Buffett almost 100% himself into Apple not long ago. I think that's the most we've seen him do that, though. And to be fair, I think he was just super confident. So, Buffett, as an example, someone who almost was 100% invested at one point, someone who literally saved our economy in 08, 09 by buying banks. I don't care what people call him. He literally saved our economy. And then Apple. Apple, I think at one point he owned like 49% of his own portfolio was just Apple. I think the next closest, what was that energy company he was in? I know a few of you traded it. Just joined and missed the first part of the rant. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I just don't want you to think that that's what I was saying, because no, that's definitely not what I was saying. Just put all your eggs in one basket and hope. Hell yeah. Just get lucky, bro. Like, trust me, you should still want your baked potato. In my steak potato example, you should still want your potato a lot. We love the potato. The man can casually, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Just casually bail out a part of the global economy. Like, that's a flex. You might not, some people don't like Warren Buffett because of the things he's done, but I'll never forget that. That's a pretty crazy flex. And it's not like he's up on his like pedestal saying like, ha ha ha, you all suck, I'm smart, I'm better than all of you. Like, maybe he does it in silence or in his private time. Who knows? I don't know what kind of man Buffett is behind closed doors, but that was pretty cool. He did just casually have a fuck ton of money on hand. By the way, guys, I'm so bad about this. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, share the stream link around if you are in here. And if you have anything to drop in here, please feel free to interact, engage, throw out any questions if you want. If you have any questions, please try to keep it around like things we actually cover in here. Of course, if you're going to come in here and talk about some other strategy I don't use, then of course I'm not going to be able to help you. Or just highlight something. I don't want to make it seem like I'm water, you need me. Like, no, I'm just saying if you want to go over something. But yeah, also definitely check out the 2 videos that I linked in the trade floor, guys. Those are just reposted. I'm just reposting them for you guys because they're good topics. I see people always talking about all these other big things and strategies that have come out in the past 3 years. Well, that system there for supply and demand has existed for like 5, so go check that out. But the gap fib video as well, in case in case you haven't heard of that video, it's a very good topic. It discusses some of these lines on our screen here, from our previous day close to our open, even some of these weird ones like the dotted line here. So, very, very cool video, cool concept, and very, very simple. It's not like it's, rocket science. If my dumbass can understand it, yours can too. I need you. What's up, Adam? How are you doing, man? How was your weekend? Never borrow money from him. Harley Davidson learned the hard way. Yeah, where are they at? Where are they now? Good morning, bud. Just listening in while looking at a chart with you. It's cool, thanks. Nice. Good to see you, Paulie. Me too. Y'all are very kind. I'm glad for y'all just being here chilling. Hopefully y'all have a good start to your week. I know Mondays can be a bit weird for most of us. Monday's a hit or miss. Monday's like a doji. The next day is 50-50. Good, bro. Wish it was longer. Damn, this was a good weekend then. I won't lie. I wish the weekend was a little longer too. But I'm glad to be here again with you guys. Good call out by Carter. I'd also like to point out that your OB here is a retake as well. I think that's equally important. You have an outside bar here on the 5-minute, and it's a retake candle. Now, I still don't know if I'm going to sit here and be like, yeah, that's going to go up, but just because we do need to take this into account. I mean, we did just gap up like $5 fucking. Almost 6, actually. We're closer to 6 than 5. I also want to talk about that too. I really hope you guys don't get in a bad mood if something is bad timing, right? You need to understand that bad timing is a thing, right? So let's say like you were looking to trade super super heavy in the early part of today. Yes, some days that will kick ass. That'll do great because you'll actually have some executions on things. But some days like this, it's like, probably just chill for a second. understanding that we did just gap up almost $6. Don't get butthurt, you know? You had a good plan, but it's not your fault the market gapped up. You didn't fucking know. It's not your fault. Move on. Move on to the next. There's always a next step. All right, what do I do from here? All right, what do I do from here? Or what Carter's doing right now. I really, like, honestly, all of you need to be doing that. Kind of just speaking context about the chart. Oh, hammer it open. Hammer holding the open right here. Second one. Didn't really go anywhere. Outside bar retake candle. Okay, now we got some context. So now you could be sitting here after this candle and be going, okay, this should start to go up. And if it doesn't, then okay, maybe we will fizzle out for the day. You know, maybe this isn't the craziest day to be sitting here and trying to catch trades every 5 minutes. But everyone needs to be doing what Carter just explained. Just, again, just kind of just reading out what the hell's saying. What the hell's the chart saying? You don't need to be sitting here saying what's going to happen next. Go over. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe at the same time. Go over the context on your screen and stack it up. There's not just one thing saying this should go up here, besides a gap up. You know, that's the one thing I think any jackass can see. Not everybody's looking for an OB on the 5. Not everybody's looking for retakes of current day open. That's just something some people in the BB system like to do. That's probably the first time today where I've been like, okay, this should start to go up more. Not just because of a gap up. That right there. Good call out, Carter. Great highlight. Making my job easy, man. This went from, I have to help a bunch of people learn things, to, okay, I'll just read comments. They're as good as updates now. Because you guys have honestly just upgraded in so many ways. If anybody is new in here too, anybody who's new in here and doesn't talk a whole lot, or you're just a stream lurker, which is cool, and you do want to grow more, interact more, like, I cannot tell you this, man. I can't tell you this anymore. You gotta just reach out. There are so many people in here who just love being here, who just love being on the market, who just love going over the things that they know and things that they trust and the things that help them the most. It's very cool. It's cool when you find someone who's like passionate about, like, oh, dude, you got to check out this retest, or oh my god, bro, you got to check out this fib or this halfway point. Like, oh my god, you got to look at that. Like, you could just tell they're tuned in. But there's plenty of people like that. And maybe you're like that yourself. Pop that pre-market high. Target is pumping more. Oh my lord. I don't know if I would have called that out a second time, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I would have been able to call this out a second time after what we did. I need more time on that one. But I'm happy to see it still going up. I won't lie to you. Because I talked about owning shares of like this, Nike, PayPal, and in recent past. And Nike's already done its thing. They've done very well. It's kind of nice we had options work for this, but I'm also just happy to sit here thinking, wow, we might have bought the bottom for Target shares. So, also kind of a cool feeling here short term for us. Any of us nerds in here. I don't even know what PayPal's doing. Yeah, they're just still there. Which, owning it at 62 or 65 is not bad. And then there's Nike. They had their gap up as well. Again, we just like some of these charts because they're just in really insane parts of their charts where it looks like good risk reward, and it's followed after with a lot of consolidation, bullish consolidation. Some of it's sideways, but then you get these higher lows after that sideways, and you get more sideways, and then you get another higher low of that sideways. You know, so it's just kind of nice to see a lot of our setups long-term working out. I don't like to come up here and brag, but I do like to win. If you guys have been in here, you'd know that we like to win. It's not good to brag, though. I think brag is like bad karma. I think if you sit up here and you're like, oh my god, look how fucking awesome I am, I think it's like inevitable that you will lose. Not just like karma, but like genuinely just timing. Like the bad timing thing with the market. It's like, oh, you're killing it. Like, that's the perfect time for your all-time high, isn't it? Mentally, that is. So that's how I see it. By the way, guys, if you have any gapped up charts, which is going to be a pretty big chunk of the market today, you can draw that gap fib. Like we did on SPY this morning. You can go from your previous day close to your today's open, no matter where that is. Come on. And this will just give you some good extra levels to watch for either us trying to hold, us trying to pull back, or some targets in case we do go higher. IWM's not as impressive, but let's draw it anyway. I almost drew the wrong part of the candle. And there we go. Super, super easy. I reposted that video in the trade floor if anybody wants a link to it. If you're just trying to find it on my YouTube channel, just type in gap fib on the search bar. But very, very cool breakdown. And you get to hear Leland's voice, which is like kind of a double win, so. Trying to keep some of this stuff on the chart, but it's just not much here on this left I'm leaving in here. I always like to leave a little bit of that left side context because I hate just seeing just a black chart where we're just in the middle of, you know, space. But we are holding that level very well. That outside bar has gotten a little bit of movement. We even got a new high of day from it. But still not seeing like the one-way launch that we're looking for from that outside bar yet. So still looking for that. New high of day again as I'm talking about it, of course. My swing call is finally in the money. Dude, good shit, Oust. I know our YouTube names are fucked up, but that's Oust in the Discord. Good shit. I love seeing that from you. You were one of the people I saw posting it very early on. Funny that you say that because I wish I had more friends who like that stuff. Yeah, you should just reach out more, honestly. Like, there's so many cool-ass people in the chat, and I make channels for people. I really do. Like, I have a lot of people in here. Like, I don't futures trade, but I have a fuck ton of people in my chat who do. They didn't want to be weird and, like, start their own thing, so they were like, yo, can you make a channel for us? So I put it in the premium. I was like, I bet. You guys can have it. You guys can have a futures channel. You know, if you're someone who's waiting to post charts, like, this channel is for you. Right, this is a place for you to post a chart that you don't want to like move up super quick in the chat. You want to be able to go to it, click this, reply to it. You know, you want to go update it real quick. This is the place for it. This is a place for your longer term analysis. Like, come share your thoughts, ask questions, reply to someone else's. You know, I find that the best way to get people to reply to my post by checking out the things I want people to see is by also engaging with them. Right, they're not going to want to give a shit. How did I just jump straight to the target swing? Who saw that? That was witchcraft. I wasn't even trying to do that. That's witchcraft. I was honestly just trying to come back down. But the best way to get people to interact with what you're looking at is interacting with what they're doing. You know, if I ever see like Letterbug go in here, right? Am I going to sit here and trade Netflix with him? No, it wasn't on my plate, right? Unless I was also looking at it, I would do it, but I'm not going to like move what I'm doing to do what he's doing, right? But I'm definitely still going to come back, right? In a couple days, I'm going to come back into this channel and I'm going to be like, all right, what did he do? What did PLTR do from this coiling on the weekly? What did Netflix do, right? And then I'm going to go reply to that. I'm going to be like, yo, did you see how this pan out? There was a hammer after this happened, blah, 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 blah. Even if it's just small, stupid conversation shit, you got to think about it like this. You're practicing a lot of the terms, a lot of the things you're wanting to use in your trading, as well as interacting with someone else who might also do the same to your post, who might also do the same to whatever you're looking at. So in a week or two, when you're passionately looking about something, you might be very happy about that. By the way, I need to congratulate Woods. Buenos dias, Letterbuck. I dabbed in selling a gold put. Wouldn't mind owning at 355. And then we got people like this. Like, eventually I'm going to have to make a seller's channel for people who trade spreads. Because I got FUD King Awesome. We got Woots. Like, they're not just trading naked options. There's people who trade protected options and shit now. So, it's just like, there's all kinds of shit in here. And then, like, results in review. I know some of you are really bad about this, but it's okay. I give you my blessing. You're okay. But, like, coming in here and, like, even if, let's say you traded something on Thursday or Friday and then you just got busy or you didn't want to look at anything, so you just didn't. Come back on Saturday or Sunday, post a review. Let us know, how was that trade that you took on that one day you were in here, or however, you know, come and post your reviews. Let us know what you guys are up to. I always love coming in here and seeing people trade off of the current day open. I think that's the best level in the stock market. Look how well these people are destroying it right now. Some of them could come in here and be like, Bueller helped me with this, Bueller helped me with that. But like, look, Nikki's doing this on her own. Eric doing this on his own. Like, I'm not in here holding their hand. Odin doing this on his own. I mean, he did thank Carl. Carl is kind of legit. Linwood doing it on his own. There's Nikki again, Eric again. You can see some pop-up names in here again too, but they're always in here because they're just always on the grind. Alst, honestly, my goat. I don't know how that wasn't emojied already. Carter, my other goat. There's just so many people in here, and sometimes you see the same person over and over again. Like you see Eric and Grassfed a lot in the results here recently. That's because they've actually taken the time to go in there and post what they've been doing. Win or loss, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so there's a channel for everything. And then there's a channel for our man from the Netherlands. Shout out to Biased. And yeah, all kinds of shit. So just interact. And I think the trade floor is just completely free. So I think anybody could type in there. But I do that so people who I have that who've been in here for 6-7 years can talk. I have it to where somebody who's been in here for 6 or 7 minutes can talk. Because it's not about how much time you've been in here. It's just about interacting. I definitely feel like I learn the most when I reinforce things I already know with people who are also learning about them. Right? So if Eric and Nikki are in there and they're like, yo, I just took calls above current day open after it broke it, and then it retook it with an outside bar, like kind of like today actually. I'm like describing today's price action, and then it went up and hit my target. You know, it's like it sounds so basic when you say it like that, but in reality, it's like there's a lot going on there. That's a complex set of events just lining up all at once, and you just happen to catch it. Like, great job. Like stuff like that, and then I see them talk about it, and it's like I did that too. Like that reinforces me doing it. It's positive reinforcement, but in a good way. In a way where you're actually going to be able to remember it. That's why I say in a good way. Like, it's nice to be good to each other and all and be nice and not be rude and stuff. Like, that's one thing. But another thing would also actually being productive and helping each other. And that's a really good way of doing that. It sounds like such simple, giddy shit, but I'm serious. Like, interacting with people who are also doing shit that you're doing helps you grow more. I also think it's good too because you could really like hold yourself to it. I think it's really cool how many people in chat don't check social media for news. I know I get on to everybody in here so much, but everybody in here does a pretty good job about it already. But you do need to have a hard stance against shit like that. Like if there's something that affects you in trading, have a hard stance against it. I don't care what it is. If it hurts you, stop. There should be no other defense for that. A lot of ranting this morning, but I thought I'd fill up y'all's ears since the screens are probably going to be a little slower this morning. But how was everyone's weekend? I would love to know. I'm going to quickly go through a lot of our top weights and stuff. See if anything's moving a lot in a single direction, but most things are just kind of getting their footing here. Damn, Berkby. Let's go Google. Let's go Tesla. Okay, Tesla's kind of kicking ass this morning. No, Alice, don't get me this happy on a Monday, bro. Are you telling me every single thing we covered is working? Bruh. I need to start skipping Thursdays and Fridays a lot more. Holy. Remember what we talked about too. We said Target, UPS, Nike, like stupid charts like this. Like they're some of the best charts you can be in when they are really good risk reward, when they have that super high RR, because days like this, like the market went up, these are going to go up with it. Then there's going to be those days like a couple of sessions ago where the market was red, but guess what? These kept going up because they're not just a good risk reward, but they might even be seen as a defensive buy. I'm proud of anybody who's been just in here paying attention. Also, if you're in my VIP chat, Apple has been fucking destroying the chart. I've been posting Apple, Amazon, and AMD a lot in that channel. So make sure you're checking those out if you appreciate any of those tickers. I've been posting the 3 A's just because they move really well. I also just like the options chain for those 3. It just so happens they all start with A.
I think Apple's one of the best options, Chance. Yeah, I'm happy for us, Alice. Thank you for like reminding me of that shit. I have had INTC from you on here for a while now because when you and me talked about it, it was down here. Like we took one move into this, and then we caught one move after this, and then since then it was just like, all right, like, we just kind of expect this to go up. Like, come on, any day now. Took a while, but that patience is insane. Now that we're way up here in the 40s, doubled the stock price. So trust me, like getting the patience to be able to go through stuff like this is worth it when you can experience things like this. All between one quarter, bro. We went from one earnings to the next. Not even a quarter, sorry. That's crazy. Like you can sit here and be like, bro, everything's so slow. It takes forever. Bro, that happened in just a couple months. If you can't have the patience for something like that, you don't need to be here. Are we going to have our second gapped up small body candle of the chart? We already have one here, which is probably what stopped me from posting over weekend swings. Whereas the last time this happened, I was posting them because we had movement above our head. Whereas this one, it was like, well, we're already up here. So I didn't want to just do gamble callouts for you guys, but I am happy to still see the market going up. Not going to lie about that. UPS climbing 2. Weekend almost stepped on a water moccasin. That's not good. I hope you hit it with the lawnmower after that. Thank you again, Alice, for reminding me. I'm just happy to see us doing well. I'm happy to see all of our teamwork doing well. Just happy for everything, really. 11.3% increase in my entire account because of Apple. Damn, Cheap-tastic. Round of applause for Cheap-tastic, dude. That's a big win. Going off levels he posted, still an Apple calls that expire this week. Good shit, dude. Round of applause for this man. That is amazing. I should say this man. I always do that. Yeah, still holding my Intel call from that consult. What? What the hell is that up? If I can ask that without being rude. If you don't want to share, don't share, but I have to know. That's fucking insane. Cheat-tastic and Alice, dude. Good shit, both of you. Round of applause. That's impressive. I'm just happy, dude. There's a lot of cool people in here who just focused on things in front of them. It's cool. Here, I'll check. I'll go check my billions. Go check my billions of gold coins in a bank vault that I dive into like a pool. Sorry for not flicking around too many charts today, guys. It's just like every chart, almost every chart's doing this. I just didn't want to bore you too much and flick around too much. But here's what our sectors look like. You can see tech is up a little bit. That's why our SPY chart's up a little bit more. Discretionary helping out as well. So I'm sure Triple Q is enjoying that. That's also why they're up a little bit more. Your comms chart helped us out. Your banks just kind of sat flat. Your staples fell and then picked back up, so that's not the worst. Energy just fell. They're at their low of Friday. And then healthcare fell, which is actually very normal to see Staples, Energy, and healthcare have not the greatest of reactions when everything else went up more. So it's not like those are, completely hurting us. I think you just have a lot of charts exhausted after that move up, because not too many people are like, all right, let's keep this going up. But the fact that we haven't fell instantly either is also a good, healthy sign. You don't have too many people flipping options or flipping shares or flipping, everything super, super quick today. Everyone seems to be kind of just like, all right, what's happening next? Nobody wants to go first. I won't lie though. This was the only sign today we saw from any direction that actually showed up after the gap up, right? The gap up's great for bulls, but it was kind of nice to see this. It was nice to see the outside bar, a new high of day after that. But they gave up after 3 candles. So we might need to see more here for more move up. We might need to see a pullback before a move up again. Who knows, though? Maybe we see a fake out here. They see a break and retake, get our liquidity grab. They move up again. I don't know, though. Those bears might be scared to jump in first. That's probably why we're going so slow. As we explained for the first 40 minutes of today's stream, the bears are the things that are fueling our new highs over and over and over again. They are the coal to our furnace. QCOM 170 to 196 and climbing. Huh? QCOM. I know, insane. There's a 1-minute OB on SPY, which held now back to CDO. Cook it through. Buffer 483 and it's 1750 now. Jesus. Brother's just casually up 1300 on a contract. QCOM's over to. Okay, I gotta look now. What the fuck is happening? Wait, no, I was supposed to come in here. Yo, did you guys catch this? It held the support here. I'm just kidding. I couldn't even tell you the last time I posted Qualcomm, seriously. I have to experience this, though. This is kind of nuts. SPY what? Apple what? Huh? What are those? Sorry, I'm watching Qualcomm. You can't look at it anymore? I don't blame you. Sorry for even making you look, honestly. I probably shouldn't even have asked you that. I should have just kept. I think I should have known better too, because the last time I was wanting to ask you, I stopped myself. It was like last week or the week before, because I was like kind of certain you were still in something on it, but I didn't want to be like, "Yo, what are you in, Alice? You still in?" Like, I hate when people do that to me, but that was up so much, I had to ask from a historic point of view, like, "Yo, how you doing?" Like this is pretty historic. This is some WTF. Don't chase it, guys. Yeah, guys, we're all buying calls here. Yo, guys, we're up. Guys, we're taking profit. All right, we're out. Yo, guys, who made generational wealth from that? That was all a joke, by the way. If anybody took any of that seriously or somehow jumped into the middle of that and was like, "Oh my god, he's serious." No, all the joke. Oh no, we 100% missed it. I just wanted to see like the capacity of it. How much did it go up? Because literally a message up, he said 180, 190, and then like a couple messages went by, and then he said 200. So I was like, huh? So you're telling me it moved $10 in the last 2 minutes? And it did. Wait for the 50%. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what these sectors are about to tell us, because tech isn't looking too great, honestly, which probably is going to weigh on SPY. Your banks aren't looking too shabby, I won't lie. Staples and healthcare holding on to their recent low. Energy is just below them. I'm also trying to remember those from the larger time frames, because we don't look at those super too much. Until no SPY. We'll chill on SPY for a little bit. This is more or less just to watch it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, guys, you should be sitting here trying to catch this. No, you shouldn't. Qualcomm is acting like the new Nvidia. Dude, they're acting like they cured every form of disease and cancer on the planet. Nvidia took a little bit there. Maybe rotation from Nvidia to Qualcomm. Not that. That move there, that's not what that was. But if you're talking about the little bit of info you have from Nvidia, that could be yes. But no, that whole move was not what that was. But I think what you just were saying, yes. If that's what you meant. No, we'll have to see what the Qualcomm news was. That was probably news related. If I had to guess, I would say OpenAI just purchased some of Qualcomm. Like, with all the recent news, I would have to throw my dart at the board of OpenAI. But it's probably something else. Who knows? Oh, it was Qualcomm's chips being as good as NVIDIA's. Okay, yeah, then you'll probably see rotation. Well, some rotation. I'm not going to say all, because it's NVIDIA. Let's be real here. It's still NVIDIA. But that is interesting. Very good news update by Adam. That is why that's going to move as much as that then, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, NVIDIA is too strong. But hearing news like that will probably make Qualcomm a lot stronger too, though. So that's really good news for them. Green stick. Qualcomm unveils AI chip to rival NVIDIA in data center market. Oh my god. They actually did it. And they did it without using OpenAI in their news. They did it. Yeah, actually, that's a great question by Matty Ice there, Adam. What's up with that? I've been playing with Fipo. I played with Andrew. I played with Matty. Me and Dividend have been playing Mega Bonk. I've been playing with all kinds of people from chat. All the cool people. Okay. Peer pressure is a bitch. Hell yeah, we're peer pressuring you. Brother, if I found the water, the pond of life, and you were like 20 feet from me, like, I'm gonna be like, Adam, get your ass over here. Fuck that tree. Get over here. This water makes us immortal. Like, I'm gonna bring you over here. Not like we want to actually be immortal. That would be hell. But just saying. I'd bring you over here. Your only position not up is CMG. That bastard, man. I could rant about CMG for weeks on end. I got in this and out of this, and then it went up like crazy. I don't even remember where anymore. I think it was like right here. Yeah, because I think we bought this, and then this happened, and then that happened, and that was like 40% up. I was like, all right, cool. Like, it made me think, like, damn, we missed it. And then this happened. I was like, okay, what the hell? I would have been pissed if I had held that. Because I would have held that. If I had held through all this and I got to this point, I would have held that. I'm not even going to lie to you. I would have held that. 600%. Because I would have been like, oh, well, they just faked everybody out. It's time to go up now. Like, great job. No. I did like that setup though, which is crazy because I've never once sat here and been like, dude, I fucking love Chipotle setups. Like I've never, that's never been said. I am happy to see coin going up. I never get to call out coin for you guys because it's so damn expensive, but this was my signal. I saw the higher open. We could have held calls from Friday or just day traded them, but the signal was that it opened higher. Like I said, a little too expensive. They're about to have earnings soon. Also, very volatile due to, of course, being so closely related to the Bitcoin chart. Which, actually, how is Bitcoin doing? It should be doing fine. Yeah. I'm actually going to be not shocked at all when this is back at all-time highs again, because it's doing the same thing again, guys. I've talked about this in the past. I'm not even the biggest crypto guy, and I'll tell you right now, crypto's looking like it's going to keep going up, because there are so many times where it keeps losing this area, and then it retakes it. Lost it, retook it. Lost it, retook it. Lost it. It just lost it in a bigger way after retaking in the biggest way. So what do you think it's going to do next? Probably more. It's probably going to go up and make new all-time highs. Probably not all in one swift move like this, I would like to assume, just because it's been doing this. So it'll probably be a little bit rougher on the upside move, but who knows. But a good sign, though, a good signal is the fact that it's done this here, here, and it's doing it again. So there's a lot of liquidity that's trapped here that's being forced to go up, which might make it go up more if they close out. But yeah, so I'm not even a crypto guy, and I'm saying crypto's looking great. I always like to throw that in there too, because I don't want questions asked. I don't know. I don't know anything about crypto. People always ask the one question, will it replace the dollar? I think you're on drugs if you think in your lifetime the dollar's going to be replaced. So what does it matter? Maybe even in your child's lifetime we won't see it. I think people like act like that's like some like switch function. Oh, bam, everybody now has Bitcoin. Nobody has the dollar. We're all using this now. Like what? I do believe Bitcoin has been adopted already and will continue to be adopted to an extent where it's being used almost as much as other capitals, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's replacing anything. I think anybody speaking of replacing is on based fucking meth. But I do believe you're also on the same drugs as the other crowd, though, if you think it won't get adopted at all. So I think you just got to be open-minded, really, is what I'm telling you all. Be open-minded. Just Bitcoin is going to get used. Accept that. That's already a part of our society. It's already a part of the economy. Even the Federal Reserve is adopting it. So get over it. But nothing's getting replaced. But to sit here and think it won't get used at all is also crazy. Been holding some crypto forever. I believe the dollar is already digital. Yeah, it's already mostly digital. If not already entirely, but it just doesn't make sense why people think it'll get replaced. If that was true, the dollar would already have been lost. It's not backed by gold anymore and hasn't been for some time. I think people forget that too, or just don't know. But it's not backed by anything. So shouldn't it already be fading away if that's the truth? So that's not the truth then, since it's not fading away. Everyone's still using the dollar. It's not going anywhere. The evidence is right there in front of us. It's not like you have to be some intelligent person to figure that out. You can't be full bearish on crypto, but you can't also be full bearish on the dollar. You want more TAP? That's a great stock. I actually still have that on one of my watch lists because I come and check on it a lot now because it's like kind of in a crazy spot of their chart where it should start getting kind of between these two levels. I'm kind of expecting a lot of consolidation, some buy the dip type stuff over time on the bigger time frames, of course. But I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I really like the spot. I like that we're kind of coming off the lows here. You got this like little area for them to work with between this higher low and this one. This will also be a good signal if they break this that we just have the low to worry about of the recent consolidation. I say recent; it's all the way back in 2020. You know what I mean, though. But yeah, good looks. That's a good ticker. Knowing you guys, I probably got it from someone in here. Because you're all addicted to beer. No. Because you're all addicted to charts. That's what I should have said. But yeah, no, you know what's crazy, Maddie? I was actually so close to saying it like that, but I didn't want to come off as like too American, you know? Then again, what does that mean, too American? What the hell is that? But yeah, backed by the United States. Calling it the dollar just gives people a warm, fuzzy feeling. It does. Fiat. Only thing I don't like about the tap is that this new gen doesn't drink. Oh yeah, that is a problem. I don't know though. I don't know though, man, because I said vapes were supposed to hurt cigarette companies, but then it came out that a lot of the vape companies were literally owned by cigarette companies. So it was like, and then also cigarettes didn't even go down in sales, but for like probably a 4-year period, which is a lot, but it's already gone back up because of the whole vape restriction thing. So it's like I apply it to that. Like I don't know, I think beer will do just fine even without the new gen, because there's just still so many other people buying it. But that's a good take, though. That's a good thing to think about. Because, yeah, people nowadays don't drink as much beer as they used to. At least that's what I think. That's what I see around me. I don't see younger people drinking beer like people used to in my day. I say that like I'm so much older. But it's true. Like, I remember everybody would drink beer. Nowadays, I feel like nobody does. That is a good thing to think about, though. When my generation is gone, physical currency will quickly fade. Yeah, most likely. Yes, core seltzers also kind of ass. Vizzy and Topo Chico. Well, no new low of day yet, guys. They're still holding, so you still have your chance here. And the only reason I'm even bringing that up is because our context of this outside bar Carter talked about earlier. This is still probably our strongest signal in the day that you should still see more upside. But if any of this information breaks, like this here and the low of that hammer, there's a very good chance we are going to slowly fade back down to this. I only say slowly just because of the amount of indecision. When this pulls back, even if it ever does, you might still have some indecision by a majority of the market saying, oh, I don't know, thinking that it can't go down or go back up. So I'm sticking with my story. I think genuinely just the beginning of the day is just going to be indecisive, but it makes sense if you just look at the chart for longer than 5 seconds. It makes sense why we shouldn't be getting moves in the first 10 minutes of the day, 30 minutes of the day. It needs to get its footing. It's still getting its footing. Even right now, we still can't say 100% this is a high or low holding to go up more. Like, it's a high or low, yes. Is it to go up more? I have no idea. Don't let anybody sit here and tell you that it is going to go up just because of that. But probability says, regardless, we should just remain closing a green day today. We gapped up. We're above new all-time high. We made new all-time high today. That's right there is your new all-time high, by the way, 683.61. It's crazy. We're almost saying a number that is about 700 a share. That is crazy. I've had streams where I've called out SPY at 435, at 360, and now I'm having a stream where I'm talking about SPY at 683. Kind of insane. That's why, like, I get over those bullshit arguments, like, super quickly, like, when people are like, oh, that dip's not going to get bought. Trump fucked us all. He's going to dump the market. Like, who knows if he will or not? Like, you don't know that. I've seen presidents do some stupid shit ever since I started trading. And guess what? The market doesn't react as well as you think it does every time. I relate it all to Boeing. I really do. Boeing has got to be the greatest example for how market reaction to news isn't always what you think it is. So, one of the very first trending planes that fell out of the sky from Boeing, do you think the market went down or up that day? The Boeing chart, sorry, not the market. Do you think Boeing went down or up that next day? A lot of people thought they were going to go down. They didn't. They actually had a very massive gap up because of the exposure Boeing was getting across the planet. Everybody was talking about Boeing. So the online exposure made their stock price go up. Now, did that happen the next time? No. So it's just a good example. It's one that doesn't have any reasoning behind it. It just went up or down off of horrible news, off of great news. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Your perception of great, good, and bad is not the same as the market's. Plane falls out of sky. Should we buy puts? No, you should just leave that chart alone. Let the volatility cool down. Let some price action reveal itself to you and give you context to actually do something with it, not just be like, oh, my emotions tell me plane go down bad, I buy put. That's legit caveman thinking. Wait for a recession to buy alcohol shares. That's true. A lot of beer consumption was replaced with hard seltzers. Was it actually? Man, I don't know how people drink that stuff. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even hating on you guys if you do, but I don't know. I can't drink hard seltzers. I don't really be drinking beer either, but I don't know how people drink seltzers and stuff. I think they taste crazy, like crazy bad. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion. I'm not gonna sit here and dog on people who drink them. I drink water. I'm pretty boring. I'm 23 and me and my peers don't drink at all. Yeah. See, that's not really, it's not even surprising to hear that now. Like back in the day, if you were like, I don't drink, you'd be like, oh, whoa, this guy's weird. Everybody bully him. Like, not really, but nowadays it's like kind of the norm opinion. Secret ad for 23andMe. The last thoughts Bueller's going to have while I'm in a plane and it's crashing is which way the chart. I fuck with everybody in my chat. I treat everybody the same. Anytime someone's like, yo, I'm going on a trip, I'll be like, yo, what's the plane you're going on? Like without telling any jokes yet. And then they're like, oh, I'm going on Delta, I'm going on American, blah, blah, blah. And then you could be like, yo, bet. Thanks for telling me, man. What date was that flight again? A week from now? Bet. Next week expiration should do fine. What was that? Oh, nothing. Just looking at the chart. You smoke a lot of weed, though? Yeah, no, the new generation still smokes pretty heavily. y'all have fueled multiple states' economies in the United States. If only Texas could get that same support. My generation smokes a shit ton, though. Went from the 70s to the thousands to the 2020s. The eras are coming a little bit too fast now. I also want to know, though, who made this whole like naming generations thing, because I swear it pits people against each other more than it does anything else. Like when I hear, oh, you're a younger generation than me, I'm thinking, oh, there's things that I could probably learn from you. You know, that's what I think when I hear that. I'm like, oh, you're younger than me. Most people, when they hear, oh, you're a younger generation than me, is, oh, wow, I can't wait to like bully you in a conversation. You know, it's just like some weird shit. Oh, wow, I can't wait to tell you everything that you missed out on that I experienced. But it's like, brother, they could do the same to you. I never get that. Oh, you were born 2 years after me, but that's in a different generation category. Get fucked. Like, you can't win with some people. Marketers, honestly, you're probably not wrong. That's why holidays were invented by companies. You'll never get me off that hill. Microsoft new high of day. What's up, Mr. KD? My goat. I like calling you by your other name now. KD's tough. Though I don't know. I don't know how you came up with your other name. D-Touch Clutch is like kind of a pretty unique alias. Like no one could really copy that. You know, Bueller, oh haha, he took it from a movie, he took it from songs, ha ha ha. But D-Touch Clutch is pretty damn unique. I can't change it here. Yeah, it's YouTube. YouTube sucks. I'm sorry, YouTube. I was just kidding. Don't demonetize my entire channel. Even though I don't even run ads. So I don't know why I'm scared of that. Don't delete my channel, YouTube. It starts with demonetization, but it ends with a deletion. YouTube, more like communism. An old coworker called you K-Touch Clutch? That coworker has no idea how much impact. I mean, it's a good name. Good alias. D-Touch Clutch. It's just easy. Sounds good. Since D is short for my middle name. Wait, your middle name starts with D? Brother, are you from One Piece? If only he knew that how much aura having a middle initial as D gave him. You have no idea. Okay, Cheaptastic. I had to read that 3 times. I was like, what? Okay. Spy 30 indecisive to an IB currently. Honestly, I'm happy that either Garden or React showed up to help me because you were definitely the 2 people I think of when I check the 15 or 30. And I think this is a great time frame to sit on today, honestly. That's what I probably should have been sitting on. The 15 and then the 30. Just to kind of remind us, like, yeah, we're bullish. We should be going up. But also, like, yo, we gapped up. And these candles are just kind of to the right. Might be able to scan these in a minute with a barcode scanner. But I agree with Garden Trader there. Very good update. Leave it like this, too, because with the 30-minute, I can actually leave in the context from the other day. And holy, does that really give you a bigger picture of what happened at the end of Friday. Gap up was nice, that extra move up was nice, but that's all it did. That's all the way to 10:32. That's like if I ended my stream kind of early, and then you still had all that day. That's insane. My initials are BDB. Damn, that's actually... You were just born with aura, weren't you? How many of us read out BDB in their head? Don't lie. Since open spy sideways, triple Q up, IWM down. OB 5-minute retaking pre-market high. Great call out. Honestly, you guys have good updates. I'm just not acting on this, to be honest with you. I am a chillaxin'. I'll tell you what, man, and I don't want to jinx myself. I might already be doing it by saying this much, but after a move that happens on a Monday, that week swings are like pretty hot. Which, if you're in VIP this week, I will be posting a swing there. I know I normally just put them in levels and swings, but I do want to put one in there for you guys, so I will be posting one there at some point this week, hopefully. I don't want to just force any random shit. But we'll see. See what we get. Maybe I have to do like a stream in there or something. That'd be cool. I don't even know how many people would join in that channel. Probably not that many, but it'd be cool to do a little one. I do like the swing streams, and I've gotten nothing but amazing feedback from you guys on those, so I would definitely like to do more of those. I just like chilling in them because I don't have to talk as much in those. I can just focus on what I'm doing. I say that every time, but then I go in those streams and I talk the whole time. Because I'm like, oh no, I hope they don't get bored. I hope people actually see what's happening on stream. Because my brain can't function any other way. It's okay. Still a good bullish trend on the intraday. It has been an hour and 17 minutes since open, everybody. Be sure to check out the Levels and Swings channel as well as the weekly updates channel, just for your good news for the week, your updates for the week kind of thing. I do that on Sunday, so you can do that before Monday. You don't have to wait till Monday open. That'll be in there every Sunday. Actually, yesterday I did it super early. I did it before lunchtime yesterday. Man, I don't know what it is, but every, like, the last, 30 minutes of me sleeping, I swear I'm having, the craziest dreams. Because I wake up and I'm, so tired, but then I'm able to remember some things from my dream. And I'm like, why was I dreaming so hard, right before I woke up? I don't know what that is about. It's very creepy, though. I wake up all confused, like, what the hell? Why is the things not in my dream happening right now? And then I'm like, wait a minute, I need to stream. Wake up, what are you doing? Get up. Story time with Bueller. Does anybody have any questions about anything from the channel or any content or any videos or any anything really? These are honestly probably the perfect times of the stream to ask stuff about that because nothing's really crazy happening on the market. If anything does start to happen, I can cover it instantly. But any videos on the channel that anybody has clicked on, or maybe there's so many videos on the channel you're like, where the fuck do I look? You know, if you have any questions like that, please feel free to just throw them out. Those are the best, low-key? Yeah, you're not lying. But yeah, check out some of the stuff. Honestly, I thought of a video that I need to add into this playlist. I couldn't believe my eyes when I didn't add it in here already. So I'm going to go add it now, but I noticed I didn't have my supply-demand video in here. Which, this method, by the way, is 5-6 years old. I didn't put it up on the YouTube till 3 years, or till 2 years later, because I didn't really know if that was even a thing. I didn't know when I made this that it was even called supply and demand. I just drew them as, areas oh, this is really good. So I didn't even know. I just called them, key areas. I didn't even call them zones. But definitely check that out if you haven't. There is an actual way, because I made this too. I made an actual public video too. I think I'm remembering now. Is because it pissed me off how many times. I'm not joking. If you go on the internet right now and you type in how to draw supply and demand, how to draw zones, how to draw this, how to draw that, you'll get like a million answers, and nobody sits there and tells you how to draw it every time, right? They'll be like, oh, well, because this candle did this, you got to draw the high and then the low of that. Like, that's going to be different every time. Like, every single time you draw it in a way where you're like, oh, but there's 3 candles touching that one, so that's a good, clear level of support, right? Like, no, it's horrible. So I came out with a video that actually shows you an actual rule set. Look, this is how you should draw your supply of your low of day. This is your demand of high of day. You could draw it on the 1 or the 5 minute for your day-to-day intraday stuff. You can draw it on the daily. I even showed you a way to back up my theory with volume profile. I don't just speak out of my ass to sound like I want to sound cool. I don't care about sounding cool. Actually, there's a whole 13 minute, 40-second video on me not sounding cool the whole way through. So please feel free to go through this for your smaller time frame supply and demand and your larger time frame supply and demand. You can draw this stuff all you want. Incredible. Not a single dislike. Al Quinn top comment. What a legend. There's D-Touch. There's the D. But yeah. One second, Lily's scratching the door. She gets into these moods where she just wants to play all the time. I'm like, Lily, I can't play with you right now. I gotta play after. Is there a specific video on charting all-time highs? Actually, I don't think there is. There's a couple videos where I'm covering like the all-time highs of like right then and there in that moment, but I just always use the backwards fib. And I can just go over that with you right now if you want. I do that a lot on stream, so I think that's probably why it's not on an actual video. Plus, I don't know if I want to post a video on this because it's kind of impactful. So I just want to keep this for people in my community because this is probably... It's like a weird trick you can do. So here, we'll go on a different chart. Jesus, bro. I just love charting, don't I? Alright, so we'll do this one. So... a big problem people have with all-time highs is that it just feels like you're in the middle of nowhere, right? When you're up here, this is what it feels like you have. So to your average amateur, to your average trader in the market, this is all they have marked. They just see it like this. This is how they feel the chart. They go, oh, our old all-time high was here, our new all-time high here. That's how most people think, right? So this is how most people see this. Now let's go on to how we see this. There you go. All right, so let me start with the daily first so you can get a good view of what I'm even drawing. So you see how we had the Trump day? I'm going to stop calling it the Trump day. See how we had this big-ass red day? And then we kind of pulled back up, and then we came back down, then we pulled back up, and we came back down, and we pulled back up. These little pull-ups in between are actually so important. And I use this each week. So the previous week when I was calling out different things on SPY, I had a fib drawn from the low, backwards fib, to the high. Because if we went up from here, I wanted to know... did we hold the 50% of this recent dip? And we have forward targets. So that's a big reason on how I came up with my forward targets is I draw backwards fibs. And I only say backwards because I am technically drawing it backwards because I'm just getting the pullback. But I'm really just using it to see where these dotted lines end up. And you can see, no matter how I drew that, I drew it from the low to high of this pullback. I got a target here, right? I'll do this so we can see the difference. And then I'll do this one. So you see how this high is here to the low to the high. And all I'm doing is just charting or plotting forward targets for myself. And sometimes I do draw multiple like this. Like, I don't know if I would draw like this, but let's just use this for an example. You could almost like have these as like highlighted targeted areas. Like, oh, if it goes from here, it should go here. If it goes from here, it should go here. If it rejects this, it should pull back down to this. Like, even just having that much more context than this is our last all-time high. This is where we are now. Like, dude, you have 10 times more info than that other person. So whether you want to highlight them or not, whether you don't, it's kind of up to you. It's really just more of a visual preference. But, whoops, I didn't do that. But that's how we get a lot of our forward targets. So even on your, we'll go back. Even on your Trump Day, you could almost just draw that one. Which, we've had that drawn in here for a while, because we've honestly just been watching the 50% of that big-ass red candle. You'll see it on both charts, but yeah, a lot of levels up here, though. So you can see this is what it looks like if you have a million levels on your screen, or you can dumb it down and you can keep it a little bit more simple like I did today so it doesn't overwhelm my viewers. Just kind of depends what you're going for. But that's what you want to do. You just want to draw your backwards fibs, but you have to be using moves that are after it starts going back up, and you need to draw it off of moves that are pullbacks. So little pullbacks like that. And you got to go from the low to the high, go backwards in that order so you can get those forward dotted lines to go above current price. You can get those. So maybe they're not helpful right then and there, but in a couple weeks' time, they might be useful to you. So, like in this instance, they weren't useful for us at that moment, but a week or two goes by. Here we are using them as targets, maybe even levels to help us make our short-term decision making. Very good question, by the way, Zaya. So, yeah, no video on that, though there is probably a lot of videos on this, but not specifically just this in the video, so I didn't title it Backwards Fib Forward Targets. This would probably be the best way to do it, to go about it. And it's not that hard, super simple. The only other thing that might be a little confusing when you're looking at it now like this is because we have the overnight gap up. So you just got to sometimes remember, oh, this is from larger. Oh, this is just the overnight. This is short-term information. This is long-term information. Actually, let's just type it on my YouTube channel. What pops up? Oh, there is videos on this, actually. I lied. 5 years ago. What did I do 5 years ago? Why am I in the hourly so long? I must just be going over the... Oh, yeah, I'm going over if this, then that. Look at that. Amazon at 3,000. Who was here for that? Before Thinkorswim added the hide your account details entirely. When someone could almost guess your account number. Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure on which moves to draw it on. Wasn't sure if it was just the recent daily pivot / pull up. Too easy, okay. Well, Zaya, that's the thing. You can do it on the daily like I was doing. I was just doing it on the daily because it was a little easier to look at. But honestly, the weekly is where you probably want to do most of your damage on for those backwards fibs, because those are also just the easiest ones to view those red pullbacks on, and then you can draw them. But they end up being the same info as the daily. I was just doing it on the daily because it was easier to look at for me. Just because I look at the daily so damn much. But that's a big way I would do it. And then like today, a lot of our main things we're focused on are just these levels. And these two, you saw me draw those today. We just went from the previous day close to today's open because that's just the gap up. That's the whole gap up. So I just want to know, where's the gap up? So here's the barriers of it. Here's the middle of it. And then here's future targets in case it keeps going in the direction that it gapped. So it went up, it gapped up. So here's targets in case it keeps going up. I already have stuff in case it pulls back down, so don't need to cover that. That's also why I was sharing this video in the stream today. Whoops, wrong thing. That's also why I was sharing this video in the chat today. This one, but also the how to chart your supply and demand zones. For anybody in here who doesn't chart supply and demand, that's fine. But each day you can actually do. I go over a method for your day-to-day charts, your intraday setups, as well as your larger time frame, your macro stuff. So, for instance, if we were to pull back and we hit the 50 and we pull back under the 50, I lazily will say we're going to previous day high, but in reality, I really mean we're going to previous day high supply, meaning the high to the open of the last green candle before the pullback from that high. So in this instance, this is what our previous day high supply would look like. And then our previous day demand doesn't really matter right now, but our previous day low demand is actually this candle. So normally you go from your high, your low to the top of your last red candle before the dip, but because we have our open right there, I'm just going to utilize that. And then that can be seen as your previous day demand. Right, so you can draw your supply and demand every single day just based off those rules. But yeah, a couple little methods, but they're almost all the same exact thing. Good question, though, Zaya. Seriously, thank you for asking that, because I'm sure there are some people in here who didn't even think about that. But after hearing your question, they're probably like, oh, shit, yeah, how do you do that? So thank you for asking that. Because that is kind of a weird one. It's a tough one. It's a unique one. It's not like it's like, oh, dude, it's your open. Just draw it. Like, it's not like we're drawing some super basic levels in this instance. We're actually drawing a little bit more complex stuff. Something that's not as easy to see. But it just depends how you go about it. But I hope that helped. And I hope to see you draw on those, because those are some pretty strong levels. We do have a lower high under today's high of day, but we still have our higher low intact on top of a gap up. So we are squeezing a little bit into this 682, 683 area. It did. Thank you. No, thank you, dude. Thank you. Thank you, Zaya. That was very cool. I can't believe it's already 10. I did tell you guys earlier I probably have to end my stream at the usual time, at like a normal early time. I won't get to go the whole day like we did a couple times these past few weeks. Also, I do have a special stream coming up, but I'm just kind of waiting to do it. I want to do it, and I want to start doing more streams like this where I turn the chat off so nobody can just keep talking. And I just want to focus on like one person at a time, and I think it'd be cool to do my usual stuff while also talking to that person a little bit more in depth through the text channel, of course. I don't want to do a voice chat thing because it'll just throw me off. But I would love to do that too, because I've had a few of you reach out to me, and I've talked to a couple of you about it, and pretty much every person I talk to is down to do it. But yeah, just kind of waiting to do some of those. But be on the lookout for some of those, so don't be all freaked out when one day you can't use the YouTube stream chat. I do want to have a couple of those streams though, because I think it'll be good for that person, but also for anybody watching, because I think a lot of us go through the same shit. So it's just, I think it'll be good to hear some of these things out loud. But I have a few of you in mind, so I'm happy to do those. No extra cost or anything. I had a couple people be like, yo, how much are your one-on-ones, or how can I go about doing a one-on-one? And I'm just like, dude, I'd rather just do this on stream. Like, I put so much energy and effort into so many things, publicly, privately, on one-on-ones, that like some of the shit just needs to all be public so everybody can get a piece of it. And I don't need to be charging people for a one-on-one. That's just weird. Actually, I do need to answer somebody. That reminded me. Oh, it was Devontae. You were the other person. Are you in stream right now, Devontae? Because Carter is one of them, but honestly, Devontae being the other one would be pretty peak. If my 2 sessions were Carter and Devontae, dude, I think those sessions alone would be amazing. But yeah, so Devontae, my bad. I forgot to respond to you. When I said that, I was like, shit, somebody did just message me. So my bad. I am a little late to you. But yeah, so I think we'll just go about it that way. I'd rather do something on stream and then have you in your own channel, or even just messaging me on Discord or here on YouTube, and I'll just make it to where only you can type or something. I don't know. But I want to make it to where like I'm just focused on one person. Everybody else is just a spectator. Also, it'd be cool to do it that way because I don't really want to charge people for one-on-ones. It'd just be weird. Especially to people like you and like Carter and like people I've had around me for a long time. That would just be really weird to me. So I'd rather just go over shit. You're already here. But yeah, so I don't know when we'll do those, but I do want to do a couple of those. I want to do them very soon as well. I don't want to just prolong these. I want to do them very soon. We'll have to spread them out though, because I don't want to do one and then the next day do another one. So we'll spread them out. But yeah, I think that would be good to kind of set up, get you and Carter. Well, not in here, but you know what I mean. I'll go over stuff. I'll have you guys in a text channel, and we'll just whatever. And you guys can have that text channel to already have things posted before we even do it. Therefore, if there's anything you think about beforehand, awesome. If there's anything afterwards, awesome. You know, it's not like it's just there in that moment. If you don't get it in there, you don't get to talk about it. Like, no, if there's things you need to post in there before or after, we can do that. So maybe I'll make a channel somewhere in the chat. I'll just name it one-on-one, and then I'll make it to where you guys just post your shit in there, and then I go in there and we do our stream, and then you can be in there or be in the YouTube stream and talk to me at the same time, and then we'll text to me at the same time, and then we'll go over stuff. But therefore, you have a channel for before, during, after. It's not just like, oh my god, you didn't catch me in the stream when you wanted to talk about this thing. Sucks. You don't get to talk about it now. Like, no, now we can talk about it whenever. So I think maybe we'll do something like that so I can keep it a little bit more open. You know what I mean? I want to make it to where anybody can see, but I want to make it to where like only some people can actually interact and type. Like the person I'm actually talking to. For this instance, you and Carter. I think that would be cool. Awesome. I'm glad you're down. He said he was down too, so I'm happy to see you both are down. Plus, I think this is really, I think why I'm excited is because I know how this is going to go. It's going to go really well because these are people that have been here for a long time. They already have a big grip on a lot of the things. They just probably need like a little bit of, not even really resetting. Like, I hate telling people that word because it makes them think that everything they've worked up to this point is just nothing. But in reality, it's not that. It's like, no, it's great. I'm glad you've made all those mistakes and done all those things up to this point, because now you'll probably have a better form of discipline where you probably will actually execute on it. It won't be because Bueller said so. It'll be because you're probably tired of making that mistake or doing whatever you find. And sometimes with some people, it's not even about let's find your errors and let's fix them one by one. Sometimes it's nice hearing it from someone else, you know, and it's like, okay, shit, he's right. I do know this. Like, sometimes it's just me reaffirming them, you know, so, and if that's the case, I'm totally fine. But I think these will go really well because it's two people that are mature, two people that have been here for a very long time, and two people that we've seen had their ups and downs that could easily have more ups. So I would love to have you too. Plus, a lot of people know both of you. So, or know of you. So it's not like I'll be talking to strangers here. Because that was one problem with my oldest one-on-one video, is that it was with someone you'll have never talked to before in your lives. Where I think as if I did it with someone I've actually been with for a long time, I think you guys would connect with it more. But yeah, let's aim for doing that then. And if there's anybody else that wants to do them, we can throw y'all in down the road. But I would love to just kind of focus on doing those first two. And then seeing how we like it, seeing how it works, seeing if we want to do more of them or not. But I think it'd be cool to kind of do that for people who have been here for a while. Even if it's just me going over things that you already know and just repeating them and that's all you needed. Like, whatever, we'll do that. I don't care. If it's to go over an individual trade review or something, like whatever, we'll go through some stuff. We'll rant about it, talk about it, go through some stuff. Just kind of try to dumb things down even more so we can understand them better. Because that's really the name of the game, dumbing things down. Not for you, for me. Sometimes it is for you though. But the more simple it is, the easier it is to understand, to implement, to act on. I need coaching. Now, Ace, you're the one person I will charge for a one-on-one. No, I'm kidding. I would never charge Ace Ventura. Not my boy. Ace doesn't even need a one-on-one. What are you talking about? Hold up. I saw your monthly gains. Shut up. You don't need anybody's help. It's funny because I was trying to categorize Ace the other day because I think he was talking about something, and I was like, you're not really one strategy though. Like you really just read all price action. Like you don't really have one strat. Like you're just a price action trader. That's what you are. You don't get to label yourself under one strategy anymore. Loser. I just want to be present. People in the group ask some of the greatest questions. Dude, they really do, honestly. Like, some people are like, yo, bro, you're so smart for talking about this. But I'm like, man, I wouldn't even have thought about this if this person didn't even ask this, though. Like, it's not me. It's like, I wouldn't even have thought about this shit. I agree with that, though, too. I think some of the questions I get asked, honestly, make this a lot easier. Some of my friends will come in here, too. Like, Ace likes to act like a smart ass, but he does it sometimes, too. He'll throw me up, like, alley-oops sometimes. Throw me up an easy layup. He hasn't done it in a while, but in the past he's done that. But I don't have too many people who do that. Who are just like, yo, talk about this. Hey, Bueller, why don't you talk about this? Even if it's just some simple shit I've already covered 1,000 times. Like, they'll know I'll rant over it again. Because it's not hard. I understand it super well. I'm somewhat still passionate about it. Not in the sense of, like, I love learning. Like, I want to learn new things. Like, no, I more or less just like being right about my own, like, call out. Like, not in that sense, though. Like, let's say I set a trigger, right? And it works. All right, great. I'll note that. But then I like to zoom down and be like, all right, now what were some signals I could have actually traded off of this? And then I like to try to recreate that, you know, and then that's why it feels good. It's not because you made money. It's not because you were right. It's because of the hard work you put through and then it paid off. And honestly, even in some instances when it doesn't work and you take a small loss, you're still like, wow, I did great. Like, you're still kind of smiling for a second because you're like, wow, I minimized my risk. I'm doing great. Because it's not just about the profits and doing great. And that's something I've really been highlighting with my swings recently is like, you could have a really dog shit win rate. You could even be having a bad time, but still be profiting. And if you aren't even somewhat grasping that concept, that's a problem. That's something you need to work on. Because that's probably your issue. A lot of people don't understand true risk reward. They just think, oh, it's near my level, so that means I have good risk reward. What? That's not what that means. Being a fly on the wall during a coaching session would be amazing content as long as everyone is comfortable enough. Yeah, that was my thing. Like, you have to find people who actually are down to do it, which I think Devontae and Carter are two excellent choices. Because they're people that are probably going to be pretty comfortable with it. They've both already said, yeah, they're down. And they're people a lot of you are familiar with. And another thing that I didn't even think about, which I guess Bob kind of helped me remember this, is they're going to ask the right questions. They're not going to come in here and be like, how's my hair today? How's the weather? You know, I don't give a fuck about that. We're here to talk about the things we're focused on, you know? They're not going to come in here and talk about weird shit like that. At the end, that's fine, you know, when we're chilling, having fun, talking about whatever, but in the beginning and in the middle, I don't really want to talk about that stuff. I want to focus. Might ruin my train of thought. Yeah, Devontae. Yeah, gets in my one-on-one, only talks about my dog. How's Lily doing? Is she shedding today? Did you clean up the floor today? Did she go outside? Did she catch her tail today? Did y'all play fetch yet? I have the most dog on the planet. My dog is the most dog. And I'm proud of it. Do you have a video breaking down risk reward? Not one particular video. It's kind of like in every video because I can't just cover risk reward because the way I cover risk reward is based on how we position ourselves. So you could see, now, but that's another thing. There's multiple ways to talk about risk reward. So like when we talked about Target, Nike, all these different plays, UPS, like we really like these because when we say risk reward, like on this chart, I'm saying because it's at a historical risk reward. It's at a historical level here, right? I found a level on a larger time frame from a long time ago. This demand here, using the same rule set from that video I just showed you, low to the high of the last red candle. I just like that it was at a good risk reward spot. I like that probability says if any kind of high or low shows up here, I should try to take action on that because it's at a good risk reward part of the chart. And then you have risk reward of your trade. Let's say you're scalping something, which I guess SPY is a bad chart to look at today. We'll look at triple Q. Let's say you're like, well, I like the risk reward here on triple Q. Okay, but from what? From this candle's high, from this candle's open, from this dotted line, from what? So you could say in this instance, I like this candle because it has good risk reward at today's open, from today's open. Like, give yourself a starting point so you know what it's from. If I just say good risk reward, what the fuck does that mean? I'm just speaking nothing, So that's probably what you hear us mean when we're saying that in here is oh, it's good risk reward from today's open. And it's like, oh, well, this is good risk reward from this high or low. So what do I mean by that? If I'm saying from this area and that area breaks, should you and me still be holding our longer positions, our bullish positions? No, because there's a now picked up probability that it's going to drop. So it just kind of depends what you're looking at. If we're talking about intraday time frame stuff, that's what we're looking at. If we're looking at my larger time frame, I'm probably basing it off of longer, more historical price action. So it just kind of goes hand in hand. But really what you want to have is just high risk reward in terms of, is your entry near a part of the chart where you think it can reverse, right? So if I'm bullish here and it's holding this and I have higher lows, great. But what if it breaks that? Well, it's not just, oh, my trade is wrong. It's no, this chart's probably flipping bearish. So the closer I am to that kind of a pivot point, in a lot of instances, it's going to be your today's open. It's going to be your halfway points of a gap up or a previous day or a larger time frame candle. The closer you are to those, the better risk reward you have, because you're closer to the point of the chart where it's making its decision to flip to the other side. It's a very weird way of saying that, but that's what I meant. Good question, though. I'll be honest with you, people who like to calculate their risk out beforehand too are pussies. Don't be like those people. Those people will never make money in this market. You can't be scared to make money in this market. Sorry to use bad language, but you're genuinely too scared if you have to sit here and be like, all right, well, if I lose this, I'll lose $26. If I win, I'll make 41. Like, if you have to calculate all that out for yourself before you're even in your trade, that's an issue, because that's a lot more emotion speaking than calculation. Because you can calculate the same thing without having the answer to it. I can know that if this breaks, it's going to be bad for my long position. I don't need to know I'll lose $26. And that's my problem with most people's risk-reward selections, is that they sit here and they focus on amounts and calculations more than they focus on what the fuck is actually happening on their screen. If I have a high or low holding, I see people sometimes be like, that's a lower high, I'm going to short that. It's like, bro, you're looking at this in the wrong way. Like, from open, what is this telling you? From yesterday, what is this telling you? You gotta start somewhere, and then get into that. I'm gonna remove this, by the way. Actually, I don't really need to. I'm gonna keep it, because what we're highlighting here is the outside bar from Carter's message. I'm just gonna extend it over to the right so we can see it a little bit longer. Gets into the one-on-one. Yo, bro, invite me to the Battlefield 6 lobby. We got past level 80, Maddie. I meant to get on, by the way, and play with you again, but I was just so tired. And then I got on, like, way later. I don't even think I played, though. I think I waited till the next day to play again. Then I played with Fipo. And then I played with Andrew. And then me and Rigney played Mega Bonk. And then I got off. Why you never play with me? You're never on. You're always busy. You're always working. If you ever want to chill, though, Ace, you can always just message me or whatever. Hey, dumbass, I'm at home working today. You know, a message like that. Today's price action is just like Friday's, gap up and sideways. Yeah. I mean, fair enough, though. Also, make sure you guys check the weekly news channel. I take it upon myself to not just post news each week, but I even retype out some of the stuff that's going to be really important. Like Tuesday, 30 minutes after the open. Wednesday, 2 hours before close. Thursday, an hour before open. Friday, an hour before open. Also, there's a lot of big earnings this week. Meta, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Amazon, and many others, which are also in those pictures. I'll be right back. 1 second. I walk into the room, I see both my dogs sitting there, and I go, Bork. And then one of the Lily just starts barking her ass off. Bork. I love my dogs. Why you gonna be so rude? What's up, though? What's everyone up to in the stream? What's on the agenda for the day? Anybody got lunch planned out already? Anybody, you got any cool events this week? Any birthdays? Any wedding celebrations? Anything cool? Finna start cooking so y'all could get a move. Oh, yeah, we do need you to. We do need you to skedaddle so I can know when to get into puts. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding. I'm probably gonna end stream here pretty soon. I have to take care of the thing I was telling y'all about earlier. So I will be ending stream at a pretty early time, but I was still happy to get in here and talk a bunch with you guys and rant a bunch and just go over a lot. I know I always say that, but I feel like almost every single stream we just actually cover a lot. I don't just come in here and just, you know, go quiet and let the chart do its thing. Like, we really do talk about a lot. We try to cover as much as we can while being productive, going over things while the market's moving. I do my best to cover things while the market's not moving specifically. What are you cooking, though, Bob? Let me know. I'm getting hungry myself. Anybody else have any ideas for lunch? What is everybody doing? Did you bring your lunch? Respect if you did. Are you skipping lunch? Pulling a Bueller? Opening weekend here in Texas? Oh, that's right, it is, isn't it? Caribbean stew chicken with some. Okay, you're actually cooking. Caribbean stew chicken with some carrots and potatoes. Damn, bro, I can smell that. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end the stream there. I do gotta go. Try to go as long as I could. But I'm glad we got to talk about a bunch of stuff, talk about the future ideas, stuff like that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to tune into the Discord. Drop some posts, some interactions, or whatever. If you want to share your charts or anything you're looking at, anything that interests you, please feel free to share any results, any reviews, any trade reviews of wins or losses you might have taken from now or before, or maybe a paper trade or a practice trade. Please feel free to share. It doesn't matter what trade it is. And yeah. See you guys later on. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for the stream.